everybody, and welcome to Laura's Lively Kitchen. I got a new pup here, Milo, because we're not hanging out at Casa de Garside today. We are hanging out with our good friends Chip and Judy Ruhl at their house, and we are making some pies. So let's get to it. We are ready to start mixing up the pies. We've got our old grandma's recipe here, and I'm going to turn it over to Chip to tell you exactly how we're going to get this done.
And it's very simple, so don't anybody get discouraged about making dough. It's extremely simple. You can do this. This is a no-fail recipe. Very simple. We're using Bob's Red Mill organic all-purpose flour. We need 4 cups of that. Then we need some Crisco to cut into that. Then we're going to do a little mixture of eggs and vinegar and water and salt in this bowl. And then we're going to dump that in there and squish it all together and make a nice round bowl or round ball out of the dough. Wrap that in plastic and put it in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes before we can cool it down enough to roll it. So first thing we're going to do is get our Bob's Red Mill in here, 4 cups of that. And Laura, if I screw up on the recipe, remind me. I think I've done it a few times, but we could still forget.
How about I'll do the small bowl while you do the big bowl? How about that, Chip?
That's good. Sounds good. Now I need some shortening. And I'm using this handy dandy little thing here from Pampered Chef.
Oh yes, so you can the measure-all.
The measure-all, and it has the feature of liquid versus solid, and you can flip it upside down for liquid and then the other way for solid, but I don't even pay any attention to that. I just set it at 1.5 cups and fill it full with shortening here. There we go.
And that product is great because you can just push the bottom up and pop the shortening out of the top, and then you don't have to worry about scooping around a measuring cup to get it all out.
You do have to jam it in with another, look at this. This is a Pampered Chef.
Oh yeah, look at that.
How about that?
Look at that.
We can shove it in with this. What's that, dear? Was that a comment?
Like it was set up like that.
Oh yeah. Well. Alright, so that goes into the flour, pops it right out like that.
Great. And then I'm going to use that to measure the cold water.
Well, you can, or you
the
can
other side.
Or there you go. Yeah. It might be a little greasy. No, I got cold water in here, Laura.
Okay.
You can use this. It's a little colder since it's been in the fridge.
I just won't set this down because then it will be greasy.
Yeah, it's a little slimy. Flour.
And we will be back in the Ruhl's Kitchen on Wednesday night to do our What's for Dinner Wednesday live segment and talk you through a little bit more about what products we've used to make our pies today and about some of the vintage appliances that they have here in their house. See, I didn't use the word old.
I love it. Good. Mid-century. Classic mid-century Americana here.
All right, everybody, we are now ready to add our wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Here we go.
Yep.
You want all of it?
Yep.
All right.
Dump her in. And eventually, the ingredients will toughen right up to a nice, confirmed, round ball of dough. But it takes a little bit of kneading and mixing. And Laura, you could get a piece of that plastic wrap out. It's over on the freezer there. I think there's a roll of it, that green roll, and we'll have a round ball of dough for you to put in your wrap.
Our pie dough is now chilled and we're ready to roll it out.
This is not the traditional way to do it, but we're using parchment because it not only helps to transfer it, but it keeps it off the rolling pin, and I don't add extra flour. I think sometimes if you add too much extra flour, you can screw up the dough a little bit.
Agreed.
So I try to just make a nice round disc out of a quarter of the dough ball.
The pies are finished, everyone, but before we take them out of the oven, we're gonna have Chip talk about what kind of oven this is because we are cooking with wood fire today.
This is a 1946 era Kalamazoo combination range, which means it's both wood or coal and gas all in one unit. So you can use either or you can use both. And generally in the wintertime, we run this for heat and have the wood-fired oven and the cooktop if we want to heat up breakfast. And I enjoy my Sunday morning breakfast in here on this wood-fired beauty. This came out of an old barn up in Canton, and it had sat for years and years and years, and I cleaned it up and brought it home, and here it is. So I use it a lot, and in the summertime. But the oven regulator is just a simple low, medium, high. There's nothing scientific about that. You just have to know kind of what that needle means and what temperature it is, although I do have a regular oven thermometer hanging inside. And I've been watching it this afternoon, and it's generally been hanging in there about 250. Now right now we're up to 350, but I gave it a little extra wood to give it a shot here to finish these pies. And I think the ones on the top are done. The ones on the bottom rack, I don't believe are finished, but we'll take a look at these and see what we got here.
It smells delicious. I wish that you guys were here to smell how good the kitchen was right now.
One thing with cooking with wood, you have to be patient, and you can't think it's going to be done in no time because it takes time. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if you're patient and you don't mind making a project out of something like this, you end up with a beautiful product. And I think we're in pretty good shape.
Look at that.
Yeah, they're done. The reason I have the foil on there is to prevent them from burning, because this oven has a tendency to burn the crust if you don't cover them up. So if you want to keep them from burning and give them a long cook time, you've got to cover them with foil. Some ovens you can get away with not covering them, but this one, now this pie here, I think we're probably about done too. I'm just poking them to see if the fruit inside is soft, and it is. And I believe this pie is going back home to the Garside. What do you call it?
Yes, it is. Casa de Garside.
Casa de Garside. That's where this one's going. So, so Laura did a wonderful job on these. She did the decorating. She cut out the hearts and the apples, and she did the edges here, and they look just beautiful. And one thing you got to have with a pie is good presentation, and I don't think you're going to see anything better than that. So
that is a beauty.
And it's all wood fired. No fossil fuel was burned.
Do you want to show the flames in your...
Certainly, yeah.
So this is really cool, guys. So legitimately there is wood in this oven, and Chip's going to lift this up a little bit.
See?
And there you can see on the video the wood that's burning in there. And let me tell you, it is very warm over here by this stove. So,
but it's totally controllable. Once you get the thing up to temperature, it takes very little wood to keep it at the baking temperature. So once the whole stove is heated up, I've put maybe 3 or 4 little logs about that big in diameter in there over the afternoon to maintain 250 to 350 in that temperature range. But the other thing that controls how well it works is the outside temperature. If it's cold outside and there's a good draft, you get a good controllable fire. And you've got a control here that you can choke the air off with if you want to bring the temperature down. So it's somewhat controllable, but you also have to know how to work with it. But I think the proof is in the pie eating. So
those look delicious. Well, listen, we also made some little.
This could be hot.
They're not too bad. I tested them before I picked them up. We also made some little blueberry crumb topping pies that we're probably going to dig in here. Just just to quality control.
Of course.
Quality control. And then that's it. Laura's Lively Kitchen on location here with the Ruhls. We were making pies today, and I'm having a great time. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
It was a blast.
We certainly enjoyed it. One of
Yes.
the best parts of pie making is to share it with like-minded individuals that get excited about pies.
I
So
love pie.
pie is love. Spread love. Make a pie.
Make a pie. So we'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.